At the Valseca Ranch House in San Miguel de Allende, Jane and her federal agent huddled around the dining room table and waited. Minutes passed. An eternity. The tension in the room became unbearable. Something was wrong. She'd driven the couriers to Mexico City. She had paid the ransom. She'd put a helicopter on standby. She had done everything they asked her to do. And no phone call, no message, no Eduardo. Then, finally, one of the two brothers Jane had sent to drop the ransom made contact. He was still sitting in his car at the mouth of that dark road. He was terrified. His brother had disappeared into the dark, holding onto the sack full of $100 bills. He hadn't come back, and some kind of police car was hovering around. But whoever was in the car did not behave like police. Something was wrong.
We had his younger brother wait for him at that same spot half the night, and we got more and more nervous as every minute ticked by. Finally, the AFI agent told the younger brother of the two who had gotten left behind to please go back to the hotel room and stay by the phone.
The rest of that night and all the next day, Jane, the AFI agent, and the young man in the hotel room in Mexico City watched the phone, willing it to ring. It did not.
It took about 24 hours, and then I got an email. It said, in a cynical way, "We have the person you sent with the money. We've counted the money, it's all there, in unmarked bills as we had requested."
But now, said the kidnappers, now they were holding Jane's employee and would keep holding him so that when they released Eduardo, he and Jane would have to cough up even more money to get that man back. Well, wait a minute, at that point now you've got no employee, you've got no husband, you've got no money.
But that wasn't enough for them. These people not only want everything that you have, everything that you can sell, everything that you can get a loan for. They want to wipe you out. They have no problem with that. That's exactly what they want. And beat you up and treat you like you are the criminal. All along.
No one, not even the seasoned federal AFI agent, predicted the kidnappers would take the money and the man who delivered it. That agent was by now practically a member of the family. He'd befriended the employees chosen to go to Mexico City with the money. He'd been the cool one who kept Jane going through her months of crisis. But now, he left the room, stunned.
My stepson came into the house shortly after. He found our AFI agent crying in the back alley.
They had failed. The kidnappers had every dollar it took Jane 7 months to gather, and now they kidnapped Jane's employee. But they hadn't released Eduardo. Had they killed him after all? And if not, where was he? The kidnappers promised Eduardo's release 48 hours after the drop, but there was no word, no call, nothing to suggest the kidnappers had or would make good on their claim. And here at the ranch, there was a family to care for. Life had to go on. 2 days after the ransom drop, in a sad, distracted ceremony, they prepared a cake to mark Fernando's 13th birthday.
I blew the candles out, and I remember thinking, I wish for my dad to come back.
Something like routine resumed, routine in limbo on autopilot. There were small teeth to brush, bedtime stories to read, breakfast to prepare. It was the morning after Fernando's birthday wish. She was in the kitchen.
And as I'm clearing the dishes, someone walked by. It was very quick, and it was someone who looked very thin and frail and very, very old and had a baseball cap, fluorescent yellow baseball cap on, dark clothing.
She knew the kidnappers had been watching the house. Was the stranger one of them?